Yo, people, welcome back to the channel. This Premier League, I think, rescheduled games preview. So I don't know which game these games are from, but yeah. So let's get started and everything. Before we do, smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, and yeah, let me introduce the guest, of course. Villa fan that's very happy right now with his team, Bailey, and then Oris, United fan. A bit disappointed. They fourth or fifth now, so um, yeah, a bit unhappy. But what can you do? At the end of the day, if you don't win, then you don't win. Now in Europa League spot, 2 weeks ago they were a month ago they were talking about um title race, but hey, that's what's
Can I just
happening
say,
today.
what the hell is that on Bailey's son? Like, fucking hell, mate.
Wait, got
It's
this.
not Christmas, yeah? It's Easter, not Christmas.
No, wait. I got this from Wembley, player final 2019. So you know,
Yeah, Beatrice yourself to GPT in the chat.
what's so funny?
Oh my god.
Beat yourself. So yeah, let's get started with a tough game really to predict. Bournemouth versus Brentford.
Bournemouth
Wait,
against
what?
Brentford.
What? You mean Man
Bournemouth
United
against
versus
Brighton.
Brentford?
No, yeah. Bournemouth versus Brighton. Sorry,
It's already failed.
No.
Brighton, not Brentford. Um, yeah. Um, so Brighton are on an unbeaten streak of 4 matches. The last loss did come against Fulham, and Bournemouth. They very inconsistent. They 1 point behind the relegation zone, and yeah, this head-to-head wise, Brighton have only beaten Bournemouth twice. And it's, so usually Bournemouth get the upper hand on them. Look, first this season Brighton beat them 1-0, and then Bournemouth 3-1 in 2020, 2-0 Brighton, 5-0 Bournemouth, then 2-0. So it is it's a tough one to really predict. So yeah, of course Tottenham did bottle it. 1-1.
Well, Tottenham. It's the history of the Tottenham.
Yeah, it's the history of the Tottenham. But Bailey,
Can't
of
really take
course,
a Mickey out of Tottenham, Hannah. Where's Chelsea?
what's the difference between 4th and 11th? You still win nothing.
Yeah.
What's the difference?
Yeah. What was
And
you
at
gonna?
least we're still competing for a trophy. They're out of every trophy. So soon we will be, but we're still competing. So Bailey,
Yes.
your thoughts on this match?
Wait, I'm taking this off.
Go on, Bailey.
Yeah.
Your thoughts.
Bournemouth. Let's start with Bournemouth. I think a really good win on the weekend against whoever they played. Can't even remember.
Fulham.
Oh, Fulham. Yeah. Yeah. I backed Bournemouth to win that before the game, and they did. Good win for them. Really good family as well. I think he's quality. However, for Brighton, they're just on fire at a minute. Yeah, I think hopefully, for my sake, hopefully Bournemouth can go and beat Brighton, but I don't think it will happen this week, this midweek. So I think Brighton will come out on top. Yes, Bournemouth are at home, but I think it'll be 2-0 to Brighton, and yeah.
2-0 Brighton, fair enough. That will be besides this season's result. That will be the second time, sorry, since 2019 that Brighton beat Bournemouth. So yeah, Rest your prediction. Will Bournemouth do that.
Yeah, I'm going 3-1 Brighton, man. Brighton, they've been outstanding. And then, yeah, Brighton 3-1.
Brighton 3-1, fair enough. Manny, your prediction for this one?
Yeah, first of all, let me just say I'm sorry I'm late. I hope I didn't miss very much.
No. We're still on the first match.
Brilliant. So, obviously, some of you will know that I have a soft spot for Brighton because I am working as well with a Bournemouth fan channel called Up the Cherries in All Departments. Wonderful bunch of people who obviously cheer for the Cherries. And basically, I thought that their performance against Fulham, where they came back from behind to win, was an absolutely brilliant one. And I also predicted an exact 2-1 scoreline. So yeah, that was a game which they had to win, and they did that brilliantly. Whether or not they can do the same thing against Brighton team that have been outstanding this season, I really don't know if I can see that happening. Sadly, because they've got ambitions themselves of making sure they finish as high as possible to get into the European places, and I'm certain that De Zerbi will not be very eager to see his players let up in any way against a team that is still, for all intents and purposes, fighting relegation. But there's one thing that this Premier results have been crazy this season. Just when you think that teams should win, they end up losing unexpectedly, and vice versa. This could very well be a game that if Bournemouth sense a few weaknesses in the Brighton team, they could end up winning. But in saying all of that, I really don't know if I can look beyond a Brighton win, just for the reason that they've got so much quality. I would like to see Bournemouth giving it a good fight, but I just think that they'll come up slightly short. I'm going to go for a 2-1 win for the Albion.
2-1-1. I'm going to say 1-1. I'm going to stick 1-1 on this.
Wow.
Night game, the Vitality Stadium is going to be bouncing, and I reckon Brighton are going to struggle. Next game is Leeds United versus Nottingham Forest. But first, want to get into some comments. Same old Tottenham 2-1 Brighton. That seems like a popular prediction. Yeah, be up yourself, Monty. If you haven't already, I went on this channel for the WrestleMania review. So yeah, but next game is Leeds United.
I'm probably the only one amongst our group that absolutely despises WWE wrestling. Seriously, it's just I really don't see anything redeeming in that. To be honest, I really don't know how people
Manny,
can
I'm
watch
with you,
that
man.
rubbish.
Manny, I'm with you. Literally, I don't.
I'm with you.
No.
Yeah, I mean, I know that
KSI Prime drinks and all that, man. What's going on here?
It's so fun. So Nottingham Forest are winless in their last 7 games. They could make it 5. They only won 1 game away from home this entire season. And Leeds United have been mostly inconsistent. So yeah, it's a tricky one. This before the Southampton game, they won in February, late Feb. They were also on a winless run of 8 of 10 games, so they're trying to get themselves up there again. And if you look at home form for Leeds United, they are 17th, so just above the relegation zone, and away from 4 Nottingham Forest, I believe the 20th. Yes, 20th. So this could either be a high scoring match or a low scoring match. Let's go to Orest, your prediction.
1-1. Leeds are terrible.
1-1.
Leeds are gonna go down. Yeah, 1-1.
1-1. Bailey.
We all like Leeds scum, so I hope Forest beat them to be fair, but I think I'm going with our score 1-1.
Fair enough. Money.
This is a game which I can actually see Forest winning because, in as much as they've had a pretty poor away record this season, Leeds are just so inconsistent that I really don't see them having enough to, eke out a win at home or away. And that's a pretty
And
damning
sorry
indictment, it must be said.
to interrupt you. Speaking on Forest having good form, just check the head-to-head. Last time Leeds United did beat Nottingham Forest was only in 2017. After that, it's been 3 draws and 3 wins. For 3 wins for Nottingham Forest and 3 draws. So their head-to-head record is really poor. So yeah, go on.
Yeah, I get that, but again, with Leeds, obviously with Nyonto being injured, that sort of it almost automatically weakens them in a way because he's been one of arguably their better players all season, and without him, it's very difficult to see any kind of any sort of fluency in the attack. I think when Leeds played when we played Leeds, certainly they started well enough at the Emirates and very nearly took the lead on us. But when we got that penalty, and I don't care what people think, it might have looked soft, but Luke Ayling displayed a moment of mental flatulence there. He never should have kicked out at Gabriel Jesus' knee. You don't get away with doing stuff like that. And of course, the goal they scored was a deflection. That sort of tells its own story. So I think Forest do have a lot going for them in attack. Although it is sad to see that Brennan Johnson might be injured now. I don't know if he's fit. He'll be fit to play tomorrow. I'm assuming he won't be. And I think I just think that even without Johnson, Forest might have a little bit more about them, and I can see this game ending in a win. It won't be a very big win for Forest, but it's a win nonetheless. I'm going for 2-1.
2-1, fair enough. I'm going to say 1-0 Forest. I think Forest got a good record against Leeds. If you look at Leeds home games, Leeds, no, I'm going to say 1-1. I'm going to go 1-1. The two past home games has been 1-1. So that's my prediction. Copying both Bailey and Norris, but yeah. So next match is a match that Bailey will be heavily invested as it is his team. Leicester City versus Aston Villa, and a chance for Aston Villa, if I'm just going to get up the table, a chance for them to go up to 6th place depending on all the other results. So Brighton lose, Brentford lose, and Liverpool also lose. Then Fulham could go Aston Villa could go all the way to 6th place of just a 6-point gap between them and Manchester United.
We're coming for you. RS, we're coming for you.
But talk a bit about this match. Your thoughts. Are you confident? And your score prediction then.
Let's be real, yeah. I'm positive Leicester was shit. So for yeah. But Leicester are just shocking. Yes, they've sacked Brendan Rodgers. Probably a good choice for them. But who are we going to get in now? Potter rejected them today, so I don't know who's going to them to get in. However, for Aston Villa, Clown Army, with 5 games unbeaten, beating Chelsea 2-0, great. I'm sorry, Hanno, but it was a good win on the weekend for us. John McGinn, mate, Ollie Watkins. This team is just turning out like Barcelona, or yeah. But yeah, you know me, class man chair. I think Aston Villa will win tomorrow. I think we should be beating Leicester, really. Yes, we got battered by them at our place, but I think we'll beat them at their place. They ain't good at home. They're the 19th best team at home this season. So I'm going to go 3-1 win to Aston Villa. I'm going to go goals from Ollie Watkins with 2, and I'm going to go John McGinn screamer. 3-1 to the Villa boys. And Oris will be 6 points behind you, yeah? And we're getting that top 4 over here. Up the Villa.
Absolutely fun. But let's go to Money for a bit of a switch up.
Yeah, I actually was on Bailey's channel just about 45 minutes ago doing a preview for this, and I did mention, of course, that that there should be an opportunity for revenge, given that 4-2 reverse at Villa Park, where Villa led but allowed themselves to be pegged back, and then Leicester then went on to score twice, and in what was a real smash and grab, really. And this team at the moment, I think a lot of people have this sort of a misconception that if you sack a manager, it immediately means that there'll be a new manager bounce and it's going to and they're going to win. It doesn't work that way always. And I think Leicester are going to find out the hard way that just because you get rid of the manager, if the players aren't able to perform for you, you can't really do too much about it. I think Aston Villa's key will obviously be to try and avoid making the mistakes they made, which saw them lose that game. And I really don't know, apart from maybe Kenny Tete, what sort of attacking threat that Leicester could bring, to be honest. And they're going to have to depend on several of their players, coming back into form just after Rodgers got sacked. And I really don't see them being too much of a match for an Emery coach side that will be determined to put right the earlier wrongs and make sure that they win their games and do what they can to secure European football, which would be magnificent for them, given that just a few months ago under Steven Gerrard, they were almost certainties for relegation. So I would certainly go for a Villa win here. We were both predicting a 3-1 scoreline, and that's what we're going with.
Fair enough. Honest prediction.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with 2 on Villa. Leicester, they don't have a manager yet, so yeah, Villa should win this, and I think they will 2-1.
2-1, fair enough. Recently, Leicester City have gotten the upper hand versus Aston Villa, especially at home. Besides the win in 2020, Leicester City has dominated this fixture. So it is an interesting one. If we look at Villa's away record, I believe they have moved up. Yeah, they're now 7th in the table. And Leicester's home record, they're the worst in the league. So though they got a good head to head, I'm going to say Aston Villa 2-0. I think another clean sheet for the Villa boys. So yeah, let me get into some comments. Leeds United 1-0 versus Forest, fair enough. Hi Spencer, be up yourself, mate. Yeah, Tottenham game suspect. 1-0 to Leeds, fair enough. Beer Plus, of course, no in the Forest game. Good shout. So yeah. Also, current set on 72 points after 29 games, beating the pace of every Man City team other than the Centurions. Oh, Well, that's just that needs to be talked about. Um, um, so yeah, also 2-1. Just Vance is also 2-1 Villa. 1-1. It is possible. It is possible.
1-0 Leicester.
Let's see. Um, keep hitting that like button, people, and yeah, we don't need to laugh because it's a regular thing. It's become a habit to see them bottle leads, especially against Everton. Like they had the opportunity to get to surpass Newcastle by 2 points, so and they messed it up. Next game is the clash of two
The
mid-table,
El Shitako.
yeah, or they are practical. I don't really want to say it, um, but I did do a preview on the other channel with Tyler, so go check it out. Um, yeah, and really, both of us aren't confident. I'm certainly not confident going into this match. For me, it's either going to be 0-0 or 1-1. But I won't be surprised if Liverpool win this really.
Chelsea.
So yeah,
Chelsea,
um,
Chelsea,
Chelsea.
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 so
Chelsea.
I'm going to start my prediction 1-1. I'm going to say 1-1 in this game. Let's go to money.
2-1 to Liverpool. The reason why I say this is because when Liverpool played Manchester City, they actually were smart enough to take the lead, hitting Chelsea on the counter. And yeah, they hit Chelsea on the counter. And they could have gone 2-0 up had it not been for a certain ex-Villa midfielder who prevented them from scoring that second goal with an important clearance before going on. Yep, you know who I'm talking about, Bailey. That's why I didn't want to mention his name. He is, of course, persona non grata in Ireland as well, so make of that what you will. But Liverpool, with Salah, Gakpo, and Nunes, do have an attack that's still capable of getting in behind defences, and Jota will now need to play as more of a midfielder, an attacking midfielder, maybe somewhere in the centre who can sort of help provide a bit of fluidity into the attack, because he had a good game against City as well. It was just unfortunate, really, that the defence looked a little bit shoddy. I think it's fair to say right now that a lot of Liverpool fans are really angry with Trent Alexander-Arnold, and with good reason, because they were shouting it. They were berating his performance against City, calling it lazy, error-strewn. He wasn't able to stop that certain you-know-who from weaving his magic and really bossing the game. And they're calling for him to be dropped and for Joe Gomez to come back in. And he was the person who I remember saying on Oris Channel not too long ago wasn't even good enough to play for Accrington Stanley. Who was he? And but he has, I think, recovered enough to be back in the matchday squad. And I think his best position actually is at right back rather than playing in the centre of defence. Maybe I was a bit harsh on him given that he was in the centre, but at right back he certainly would be a lot better. So if Trent gets dropped and Gomez is brought back in, then that will be a good start. And I would trust Klopp to finally make the changes that he needs to make. And still a bit of a worry about Virgil van Dijk and his form, and Ibrahim Konate, of course, was a World Cup finalist with France. Andrew Robertson, we all know, is a decent left back, so there are some defensive worries, which is a bit of a surprise. Maybe against Chelsea, Liverpool are the type of team that can possibly get their act together. Although it must be said that their away record this season has been absolutely abysmal. But as far as Chelsea are concerned, whether it was Mudrak or Felix or anyone else, they couldn't score against Aston Villa. They couldn't score against Southampton.
Oh my days. Man, that's violation, you know.
But
No try.
I just maybe they'll score if Liverpool's defense gives out. But I just think when it comes to attacking the attacking force, Liverpool's is much more potent. So Hannah, I'm really sorry again, son, but I'm going to have to go for a 2-1 win to Liverpool.
No, fair
which will
enough. Fair enough.
which will probably help them in their quest to get back into the Champions League places, if only they hadn't played too many more games.
Spencer says 1-1 or 2-1 Chelsea. I would be stunned if we won this. We are horrendous away from home. 3-3. 3-3. Oh, 8 away this year. So why is the draw with the Blues?
Oh,
I think his connection's also acting up a little bit. It's happened with me as well. He's in South Africa. They have load shedding every now and then.
right. Yeah, I'll just talk about this game until Henry is back. I think Chelsea won this game. Something tells me a Chelsea win, but I think Liverpool defense. As I say, if it's opened again, then Chelsea will win. But so Liverpool, they would want to bounce back from getting back by sea. So yeah, I mean, I'm gonna go with 2-1 Chelsea, but Liverpool actually turn up. Could say 1-1 or 2-1 Liverpool, but I mean, I don't see a Liverpool winning anyways. So I have a 1-1 or 2-1 Chelsea.
Fair play.
Bailey.
So, yeah, about this game. Of course, I hope. What's so funny?
No, look in the comments. Hannah's very still. Yeah, Hannah's frozen, guys. Hannah's frozen.
I hope Chelsea win this game, for my opinion, but I think Liverpool will come out on top. I think Salah will run that show, and I think Liverpool will come out on top with a 2-1 win. I think it'll be a last-minute winner from Mo Salah as well. So Chelsea 1, Liverpool 2 for this week, for midweek game.
Yeah.
Don't know what to talk about now. I know left.
Yeah, but so like we've covered Bournemouth, we covered Leeds, we've covered Villa, and now I think this is pretty much it. We were supposed to cover the 4 rescheduled games, but we could talk about the action from last week's games if you like.
Wait, it's some games on Wednesday.
Oh yeah, Wednesday. Perfect. Let's find out the games on Wednesday.
It's,
I will.
Man U Brentford and West Ham Newcastle.
Yeah, hold on. I've got it. Whenever you're in doubt, go to scores and fixtures. This is another reason why you need to know how to work with StreamYard. And okay, so yeah, hopefully by the time Hanno signs out and signs back in, he'll be fine. I think the most important thing is to make sure that he gets his connection back working. So, as you've said, Bailey, it is Manchester United against Brentford and West Ham against Newcastle United. And, of course, both Newcastle and West Ham securing important wins over the weekend. United will definitely need a response against a Brentford team, which whipped them at the Brentford Community Stadium to the tune of 4-0. But again, that United team was completely different. A certain Portuguese miscreant who was there in that team then is no longer a part of the scene now. And Orest, I'm going to come to you first on the United-Brentford game. How confident are you of getting any sort of revenge against the Bees?
It's gonna be tough, man. It's gonna be tough. Confidence-wise, I'm a bit confident and I'm a bit not, but we have to take revenge, man. We honestly do. We need to win this game now because obviously Tottenham. We saw what happened tonight, so We need to take advantage and take the 3 points. But listen, I believe in Ten Hag. Players, they need to turn up, man. So regarding the scoreline, I think it's going to be 2-1 United, but we just need to win, man. We can't afford to drop many points now. So yeah, we just have to be on our A game, and yeah, we'll see what happens because, as I said, Casemiro is out again. And by the way, Casemiro, he is a huge miss to our midfield, man. Because Sabitzer alone, he can't do the job alone. So yeah, it's gonna be a huge miss. But I'm gonna say 2-1 United. It won't be easy.
Yeah, and obviously Casemiro will be a miss, but having seen the match yesterday at St James's Park, which United players do you think didn't impress you, and which ones? And do you believe that they should be dropped?
Yeah, for me, I think McTominay should be dropped. I think Fred should be starting for Wednesday. I think Bruno Fernandes was absolutely horrendous for me. I think I think everyone played bad.
The only one good player was really good for you. I think it was your goalkeeper.
Yeah, De Gea. Yeah, De Gea was only good. He made that double save that he made. I think he was. I think he was the only good player that we had because that lot and Luke Shaw absolutely poor midfield. There was no structure in the midfield. Attack. Rashford didn't offer anything. Weghorst, he only had 7 touches on the ball, but listen, he didn't get no service. Anthony, he tried to do something, but at the end of the day, he didn't. So it was a bad day of the office, but
Yeah, Shaw's inconsistency is really the most worrying thing for me because if I had to choose between him and Malacia, I'd take Shaw, obviously because of his experience. But that was not the game which he needed to, where he could afford to have a bad game. And of course, is Wan-Bissaka injured? Why was Dalot given another chance?
and Wan-Bissaka was ill.
Poor guy. That makes a lot of sense. And of course, David De Gea, I always say, is the best shot stopper in the league because forget about Aaron Ramsdale. I've seen De Gea make saves which are every bit as difficult, maybe even more difficult than some of than that save against Leicester that
Ramsdale got
Ramsdale made.
save of the month, man. Come on.
Yeah, I know, I know. But listen, I've also seen Emi Martinez make a similar save on a volley. That was when Aston Villa played Leeds, and I don't know if that was nominated for Save of the Month either. Because Martinez is a world champion, his saves never really get the recognition they deserve. But because it's Ramsdale, he's young, he's English, everyone fawns over him. I mean, he'll always be known as the fella who sent us out of the Europa League by going walkabout, getting beaten from the halfway line, and not even saving a single penalty. But anyway, as I said, De Gea is the best shot stopper in the league, but a lot of people complain that he can't really play from the back. I always am a believer in old school goalkeeping ability. What use is there in you being able to play a wonderful pass from the back and aid in the quick transition from defense into attack if positionally you're found wanting and you can't even move your feet and hands quickly enough to save a good shot? And Manchester City are having issues with Ederson now. A lot of fans say, he's also past his sell-by date and he also might need to leave. Good luck to them getting a decent keeper who'll be willing to play over there. But what do you think of De Gea? Do you think that he could be better as an all-round goalkeeper, or are you happy with him? I mean, he's played about 500 games for you, hasn't he?
Yes, I mean, I'm happy with De Gea, man. Obviously, the thing is, the problem is our fan base, man. Our fan base can easily scapegoat players. For me, I think De Gea is the least problem at the club, but I'm happy with De Gea. Yes, people say he can't pass around the back, but we don't have players at defenders that can actually pass with the ball for 5 minutes because we don't have. I think we have less technical players, man. I don't think we have technical players in our defense. Maybe apart from Lissandro Martin, that's it. Because I think Varane, I don't think he's good on the ball. Dalot, don't think so. Luke Shaw always, for me, he always goes sideways. So for me, I'm not concerned about this narrative of he can't play out of the back because, first of all, as I said before, we don't have technical players from our defense that can pass to make 2 to 3 passes. So for me, I think they is the least I think he's the least problem at the club. I think the problem is the midfielders, man. There's too much space in the midfield.
Yeah. What's happened to Bailey? Is his connection loose, or he's not here at the moment?
Yeah, I think it's connection probably.
Right, but now we'll go to Brentford. Who do you see being the danger man in that particular team? Obviously, you can't look too far beyond Tony, but Mbuemo, Wissa, Damsgaard, and several other people. Take your pick. Who do you think is the one for whom you need to watch out?
Yeah, for me, I agree with you, man. Obviously, there's Pinnock as well. Even Pinnock, he's a good player. I like him. Obviously, there's Nordgaard. There is the goalkeeper, David Raya. David Raya is linked with United, so it's going to be interesting to see how he plays because some United fans want him. For me, I'm gonna watch him. I'm gonna watch him probably now on Wednesday to determine if I want him. But yeah, I mean, there's quite a few players at Brentford I do rate. Like, we just need to make sure we win the midfield battle, and it's gonna be hard, man, because they got, as I said, Nordgaard. They've got other players, so it's gonna be tough. It really is.
Yeah, and well, I think I just got a message from Hanno saying that he could try to come on, but might not be possible. But we will cross that bridge when we come to it. So, score prediction. What do you think is going to happen at Old Trafford?
2-1 Man United. 2-1 United.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. I think Brentford are the sort of team that can definitely score points and get results against some really big teams. They, of course, beat City at the Etihad, so they're not too bad away from home. But I think come the business end, they could potentially struggle if they depend a bit too much on their front three. So we're going to have to see how it happens. But Thomas Frank has done a good job with them. And now, of course, we've got the other midweek game, which is in the middle of the week, West Ham against Newcastle. As I said, both of them have picked up important wins in the weekend. But Newcastle, obviously, the Magpies are flying high and still nursing those Champions League ambitions. We've got to travel to St. James's Park, and that won't be easy. And the last time we traveled to St. James's Park, we Arsenal fans all know what happened. But West Ham also have been struggling this season, and they needed that win over a Southampton team that look absolutely doomed, it must be said. But who do you think will come out on top of this game? I mean, you probably can't look beyond Newcastle, can you?
Yeah, I mean, Newcastle, they obviously got a good win against us. It'll be good for the confidence now. So yeah, I'm gonna back Newcastle. I'm gonna say 2-1 Newcastle. I think Newcastle will get the win, and you could see West Ham sacking David Moyes after that. But for me, I would keep him, man. I would keep him to see how he does because they're still in the Conference League. So, and if they win that, then they go to Europa League. So I think that'll be a successful season for them. So for me, it'll be a 2-1 Newcastle win for me.
I mean, you talk about that Conference League, but in reality, I think that Conference League is really the only bright spot in their season, which has seen them fall so hard. And I think we've seen in several seasons that West Ham have a tendency to fall quite hard into a relegation struggle, somehow manage to survive. And then the following season or two after that, they start to flourish again. I mean, they sing the song "I'm Forever Blowing Bubbles" with a reason. It's as if you blow these bubbles and then they burst. It's an absolute roller coaster supporting West Ham, but it kind of is what it is in many ways, and I think that sort of comes with the territory. But again, up against this Newcastle team, this is obviously the type of game that they are going to need to win, and I wouldn't put it beyond the club to actually sack Moyes if Premiership results don't improve, because bear in mind, Chelsea, of course, are in the Champions League quarterfinals, and they still sack Graham Potter. And although Leicester did well in the Champions League after Ranieri won the Premiership, their Premiership form still meant that Ranieri had to go. and Shakespeare it was who took them to the quarterfinals, very nearly a semi-final. So I think the worse they do in these Premiership games, the more and more pressure will be on Moyes, because, I mean, having a club in the Europa League but also playing in the Championship will not really be the best look. I mean, take a look at what happened with Wigan Athletic. FA Cup winners who got relegated. I'm not too sure they found it good fun playing in the Europa League in any case. But, yeah, so if you're predicting a 2-1 win, why do you think Moyes should stay, though? Because winning against Southampton is one thing, but getting the results you need against teams of a better caliber right now are going to be very difficult. Do you still believe that Moyes can turn it around?
100%. I still think he can turn around, and I just think Premier League now. I think the Premier League clubs. Obviously, we've seen too many managers get like that. So I think, for me, I think West Ham fans they have to stick with Moyes, man. I know this sounds a bit weird as a United fan, because we did have Moyes before, but I do believe even if he doesn't get a result in Newcastle, I think he can turn around. And as I said before, they're still in the Conference League. I don't know if West Ham fans either prioritise them both for the Premier League, but for me, if you're in the Conference League with West Ham, then it's a huge boost for West Ham and a huge, massive thing. So for me, I mean, it's going to be a tough place anyways, because St. James Park is a tough ground, man. It really is. And I really don't know how Liverpool won, because I watched back the game. I don't think Liverpool deserved to win. So for me, it's a tough ground.
Yeah, I get that. And even Newcastle as well, I remember saying that they started to slip a little bit, but a few wins have obviously given them some confidence. Again, they also have some tough tests later on this season. I think we could take a look at their run-in later on and see what they're going to do. And obviously, when you take a look at the club in question, they have made some terrific strides under Eddie Howe, and they are, of course, now in third place on their own merit. But I'm just going to take a look at the run-in and show you what games they have. And I know Wikipedia isn't really the best source per se, but I'm sure they're going to make sure that everything is fairly well dealt with. Right, so after West Ham, they travel to Brentford, they travel to Aston Villa, they face Tottenham Hotspur at home before travelling to Everton. A nice reunion for Anthony Gordon there. They've got Southampton at home, Arsenal at home, of course. Travel to Leeds United, they face Leicester City, and they also have to travel to Stamford Bridge to play Chelsea. And then that was supposed to be the last game of their season, but they also have a home game against Brighton and Hove Albion, which has to be rescheduled. So this has been a very strange season, which has been, interrupted, hijacked by the World Cup. And even now, with weather playing a part in games being postponed, it could very well be that it might go all the way until the first week of June. We just don't know. But, Orest, I don't know if you're still there. I think your connection might be playing tricks on you. But
I'm here.
Yeah. So when you take a look at the run-in, and you see the run-in here, obviously, how well do you think Newcastle United can perform in this run-in?
Yeah, I mean, for Newcastle, it's going to be quite tough, because obviously they're going to have to play quite a few games. But I reckon, obviously, the Brentford game, that's going to be a tough match. That's going to be a big game as well. Brentford away, so I think they'll get the win against West Ham. With Brentford, it will most likely be a draw, in my opinion. Obviously, Aston Villa away. Oh my god, that's a tough one. And if it can happen, then obviously they got Tottenham. I think they will batter Tottenham. I really do. I think they will really batter Tottenham. And after that, they've got Everton, Southampton, Arsenal. Newcastle Arsenal, hey. Man, we love that. We wanted part two. we wanted part two, but anything can happen in that Newcastle Arsenal game. And bear in mind, I think before you guys played Liverpool and I think City as well. I think so. Newcastle is all about consistency from now for me.
Yeah. I mean, obviously it is between us and City for the title. I am hopeful that we could pass our tests, but I am not 100% confident that we can go to Anfield and the Etihad and get results. But Newcastle, from the looks of it, do have a pretty decent run in, apart from maybe Aston Villa, Brentford and Tottenham. And, of course, Arsenal. I mean, Chelsea could give them the tough game, but I actually think that in these remaining games, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, they could certainly get about 6 or 7 wins that could preserve their position in that top 4. So the other teams have got catch up to play. And Tottenham are especially going to have to do well at St. James's Park. They will need to secure that win to keep their hopes alive. I want to take a look and see how well they've fared against Liverpool. I know the last game they played, they lost at St. James's Park. And then, of course, they lost to them 2-1 at Anfield at the beginning of the season. But they've actually had most of their... they lost 2-0 to Manchester City. So they've finished most of their big tests. So it's going to be really interesting to see if Eddie Howe can emulate... it can sort of bring back the days of Kevin Keegan when he led the club to 2 consecutive runners-up finishes in the Premiership and then Champions League football. But it is going to be, I certainly wouldn't put it beyond them to do that. But if they fail to make the top 4, then that could be put down to their own collective inexperience as a team and a manager. But, they are sentimental favourites. And I think if they set the whole top 4, top 6 stranglehold this season, this could be something wonderful, and the other 6 teams are going to have to really lick their wounds and regroup next season.
Exactly, yeah.
Right. Yeah, so your predictions are 2-1 for United against Brentford and 2-1 for Newcastle against West Ham, yes?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm going to go with the 2-1 for United against Brentford too. But for West Ham and Newcastle, I'm going to say 3-1 to the Magpies. I just don't think West Ham will be able to... listen, Isak, Callum Wilson, St. Maximin.
Exactly.
That offence, it is not to be shouted
Bruno
at.
Guimaraes as well, yeah.
Oh, don't get me started on Guimaraes. I hate you.
Yeah.
But it is...
The defense
yeah. Yep. Nick Pope got his season-leading 13th clean sheet against you lot. Sorry to mention that, but I had to. And there's going to be quite interesting to see what happens in these games. And then, of course, we got weekend action coming back. So games are coming thick and fast. It's a frenetic end to the season, and we're all here for it, definitely. But anyway, I don't know if there's much to talk about. So I don't know if we
end the stream, but I don't know. You don't even have controls.
Yeah, so I think we might probably have to exit the window ourselves. And let me see if I can try and sign into StreamYard and see if I can do something here. Well, for some reason, I don't think I can...
Wait, let me try to do it. Hang on 1 sec.
Yeah, so while we wait for Oris to come back, we can, of course, talk about the completed Everton-Tottenham game. I think we spoke a little bit about it. I mean, I saw some of it in fits and starts, of course, and obviously that was a poor result for Tottenham. Seeing Abdoulaye Doucouré sent off and then scoring that penalty, you thought they were home and dry, but just goes to show that they still have a bit of a soft underbelly, and they could definitely be, cracked at any particular time. they like, and other teams like, rather. And as for Everton under Sean Dyche, well, they're continuing their recovery. And I think the dark days of the beginning and middle of the season under Frank Lampard are starting to become a distant memory. But if we take a look at the Premier League table, which we surely will, and this is, of course, now updated table, which I will show you all right now. Yeah, so obviously, we take a look at where Everton are right now. Obviously, with a win, they would have gone up to 13th, but they are now 15th. They have, however, played 2 more games than West Ham United and 1 more game than Forest and Bournemouth each, and also Leeds and Leicester. Southampton, 29 games played, 23 points, and, of course, they played a game more than 4 teams above them. They look absolutely doomed. I cannot see them recovering in time, but again, the points tally here speaks volumes. 25, 26, 27, 27, 27, 27, 28. A mere 3 points separating 19th and 13th. And then, of course, Crystal Palace are on 30 points in 12th. Then, of course, after the 8-point gap, you got Chelsea, who I can't see getting relegated. Fulham and Aston Villa have done well to make sure they're safe. Liverpool are still there or thereabouts. So again, all the teams in this particular belt over here from 13th to 19th still can, find their way either out or back in the relegation zone, depending on, of course, how results go for them on a particular day. So with several games to go, there is still some hope for them. And even with Southampton, who I say are doomed, can still, in theory, try and get a few results if only they had a better run in. Their next game, of course, will be against Manchester City. They've also got to play Crystal Palace, both of them at St. Mary's, and then they play Arsenal at the Emirates, Bournemouth again at St. Mary's, Newcastle at St. James's Park, Forest at the City Ground, Fulham at home, Brighton at the Amex Arena, and then their last game will see them entertain Liverpool. So with this particular run-in, I stand by what I've said. They look doomed. Absolutely doomed. But the other teams can certainly, spring a few. There's still some hope for the other teams if the run-in is in their favour. I'm certainly looking to the likes of Bournemouth and their run-in, for example. They're playing Brighton tomorrow. They play Leicester after that on the weekend. They travel to White Hart Lane, which certainly won't be easy, but they can hope for something. West Ham are certainly very inconsistent. And they also play Leeds. They play Chelsea at home. Yeah, loud and clear, Hannah. How are you?
Okay. Yeah, sorry about that. The Wi-Fi
No,
just
no, you're good. You're good. As long as you're back, that's fine. So I think Bailey's off and Orista's off. So we've spoken about everything. But quickly, I want to get your predictions. Manchester United are playing Brentford at Old Trafford on Wednesday. What's your score prediction there?
3-1 United. And then West Ham Newcastle.
Wow.
I'm going for 2-1 Newcastle. Edge it.
Yeah, I'm going for Newcastle to actually score 3 and for United to edge it against Brentford. So we have a slight reversal there. But midweek games have a deal of fun, and it is going to be interesting to see how they pan out tomorrow. But with all that done, do we end the stream now? I think Oris is in the back room as well. I think we might have to bring him on too.
Yes, Oris is there.
Yeah, let's end the stream now.
Okay, and I don't know if Bailey's coming back, is he?
No, I don't think so. I think his wife. I think yes, something like that. But yeah,
1-1
I think
says Bailey and 2-0. So.
But yeah, I'll just quickly obviously do socials that I can do. Wait, hang on.
Yeah.
You
You
got a
can
chat.
quickly search out your socials, Manny.
Yeah, socials. Catch me on Instagram. Manny Thangadurai 1981. Twitter, Thangadurai 1981. YouTube, catch me here on the Coach's Corner. Big up to Hanno. Catch me on Oris Talks Football. Tomorrow we are celebrating our first anniversary, so big up to Oris and the team. Proud to be a co-host, of course, on that channel. I also want to mention Jez Collins from Arsenal, The History and More, who's also celebrating his 1-year anniversary this week. I believe he's got a video tomorrow. I won't be able to be on that because obviously it clashes with OTF's video, but I want to shout him out here and also on that channel, on our channel tomorrow. And catch me on other channels on YouTube: Delboy Gunner TV, S Featley TV, Tony Claude Gunner TV, Danny AFC TV, Up the Cherries in all departments, Bailey Francis TV, AFC Talk Show TV, and several others who I can't quite think of right now, but I'll send them all a check in the post. And without further ado, thanks a lot to everyone who's joined in the stream and left some comments and in the chat. You all make this video and this channel what it is. Take care of yourselves. Have a good night. Have a good rest of your week. Don't do anything that the three of us wouldn't do. For now, I'm out.
Yeah, and then obviously for me, I'll just do it quickly.
Good yourself, man.
Oris Football on YouTube, Instagram, Oris Football, Twitter, Oris Footy. And yeah, man, as Manny said, tomorrow, I think it's 7 p.m. Yeah, 7 p.m. UK time is the 1-year anniversary. So yeah, catch me on there. Tomorrow, obviously, I'll be getting panels for tomorrow. So yeah, man, big up panel.
Be happy yourself. And yeah, of course, Bailey you can find on Villa TV. So
And
yeah,
big up
go
the South
subscribe to
African
his
Wi-Fi
channel.
as well.
Yeah, big up to South African Wi-Fi. Incredible. Yeah. And when the cell service is also there, so that's also great. But yeah, do what Atika said.
Oh no.
And for Instagram is down there. Talk to same as in the description. So yeah, also in a bit